Make sure my clicky thing works. It is. Tonight we look at the port of Bonaire and take a deep dive into what is available at this port. Chali is back after surviving a cruise with 150 drunk ladies and running from security. We have the latest cruise news and more life below decks in the crew areas from Lucas Bone. All this and much, much more coming right now on CruiseWeekTV Live. Our show this week is brought to you by the folks at Good Memories Travel and by Imax. Hey everyone, Matt here, your newbie cruiser, learning all about cruising life and the adventures right along with you all. If you are new to our show, we find out all the tips, tricks, and ways to save money on a cruise by bringing on the experts who know way more than me. And you know the best part of all this? You get to ask the questions yourself live on the show. So if you're watching us on YouTube, Periscope, or Facebook, you can post your questions into the comment section, and we will see them and try to answer as many as we can. So, I have a question, and I always wondered this, so type it into the comments right now. How many times have you cruised? If you have never been on a cruise before, just type 0. I am always interested to see this. I have only been on 2 cruises so far. Bird, our producer, has amazingly racked up 10, and he just got back from yet another one on a week on the Majesty of the Seas doing reports from that ship. You will see more of this next week. So let me check a couple of these numbers. Kevin says 21. Chali has been on more than 10. I can only imagine that. Ward says 6. Guy Davis has not been on a cruise ship yet. Charisse, got the name right, Chali says 9, Thomas Burke says 3, Jeffery Pooler 48, and I've only been on 2. So, this week's show focuses on the port of, and I'm probably going to butcher this, Carnival Bonaire in Southern Caribbean, which currently the Carnival Sunshine, Carnival Freedom, Navigator of the Seas, Freedom of the Seas, Adventure of the Seas, all sail to. And our guests tonight are from Bonaire Cruisers, who live and work on the island. But before we get to talk to them and take your questions, let's take a look at our photo of the week. Each week, we pick a different cruising Facebook group and ask members of that group to post their best cruise photo. Then we look through and choose the one that stands out to us. This week, we chose the CCPPF Cruisers group and picked this photo from Nicole Little, here featuring her built-in drink holders. And you thought those were only good for keeping money in. Remember to look as we pick a new group each week, and next week you could be featured right here. Do you use a travel agent or go direct when booking your cruise? Did you know you can actually save money by booking through a travel agent? That's something the cruise lines won't tell you. A few other reasons for using a travel agent: personal service and cash credit back. You can actually cruise for cheaper. So whatever cruise you are planning to be on, give Good Memories Travel a call. You get the same great rates as booking yourself, plus you may get an onboard credit or a customer reward. Yes, they actually give you money to go cruise with. They enjoy planning and helping you with group cruises, family reunions, weddings, and honeymoons, and cruises as well. Good Memories Travel specializes in handling every aspect of your cruise. Imagine letting someone else do all the work while you get to relax. In fact, Debbie is personally handling our group cruise on the Carnival Horizon in 2019. But they don't just handle group cruises for Carnival. They book cruises for all cruise lines, like Royal, MSC, Norwegian, the New Virgin Cruise Lines, and more all over the world. They're your one-stop place for everything when planning your cruise. Call Debbie for a free, no-obligation quote on your next cruise. What have you got to lose? Debbie can be reached at 321-338-2953, and of course through the website at goodmemoriestravel.com. And let them know you heard about them on CruiseWeekTV. In our quest to learn all things new and exciting in cruising, we often take a look at the ports of call. After all, that is one of the major factors in deciding what cruise to take. And this week we look way down into the Southern Caribbean at Bonaire. And I know I'm probably going to butcher the name again. The port at Carnival, which lies off of Venezuela's coast in the Southern Caribbean. Its reef-lined coast is protected by Bonaire National Marine Park, but beyond its rich marine life, the island also shelters lizards, donkeys, and birds within its immense Washington Slogby National Park. And I'm going to get clarification on all these names later on, don't you worry about that. Marked by beaches, lagoons, and caverns, and desert-like hills, Bonaire was recognized as the #1 shore diving destination in the Caribbean. But enough for me. We have some real experts who live and work on the island with us today to give us a bit more information. Welcome, everyone, from Bonaire Cruisers.
Good evening.
How is it going down there, and how is the temperature like?
The temperature is lovely. It's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. And, well, we don't have winter, we don't have spring, we don't have autumn, we only have summer over here. So it's always nice.
Sounds pretty good to me. So I probably butchered some of those names earlier. Can you tell us the proper pronunciation of it, please?
Well, you were close. It's Kralendijk.
Kralendijk.
And it comes from coral dike, because a lot of the service is from corals. So coral dike became Kralendijk in Dutch. It's a Dutch island, so that's why, with their own government. So yeah.
And the national park, Slagaby?
Yeah, almost. Washington's Slagby.
Slagby. See, I am really, really bad at pronouncing names. I can barely even get the names correct for some of our viewers have been here since day one, so I'm working on it. Though. They have little pronunciation things on dictionary.com. Not very helpful. Anyway, let's jump into some questions. And guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post them live in the comments, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. Anyway, so what's there to do in Bonaire? I personally never been there. It's in a very southern part of the Caribbean, and I'm not sure how many different cruise lines go there. So if I'm new to going there, what's something that I definitely have to go do and see?
Okay, well, the people on the cruise ship only have just a couple of hours to spend, because we are famous, like you said before, for our shore diving. It is possible to go shore diving. We have a lot of culture to see, like from slave huts. We have all kind of old buildings, so that's really nice to see as well. We're very famous for our surfing. We have a lot of world champions coming here from windsurfing, and we have a lot of kite surfing as well. That's really nice. If you can do the diving, you can go snorkeling. That's really nice as well. And it's a really relaxed island. You know, we don't. The crime rate is really low. We have really relaxed people over here. And what I would tell people, you know, why don't you rent a golf cart? Because then you can see main things of the island.
So we have a couple other questions coming from Facebook. This one comes from Kevin. He says the sailing is awesome. I'm not sure if we lost our guest. A lot of islands usually have not so great reception. So if we did lose him, we will move on to the later sections and come back to him a bit later on. I'll give him just a little bit. You guys get to watch me take a sip of my eggnog that has a bit of bourbon in it. It's a nice little drink for winter time now that October is over. It's that Christmas weather, Thanksgiving, you know, but Thanksgiving is kind of like, meh. So while we are waiting for our guest to return, we are going to be moving on to our later section. Why don't we jump over to Chali and get that little interview going on? So Chali just returned back from her Carnival cruise. So Chali, tell us a little bit about that.
Hey Matt, it's good to be back. Here having my glass of wine and my platinum gift that I got on the Vista, my sparkly Arctic cup or whatever you call it, with my little carnival on it. Isn't it great?
It looks
but
pretty
anyway,
great.
Yes. So we just got back from the I thought I had the show notes earlier, but this was not the Diva cruise. This was the CCPPF 4th annual group cruise. So it wasn't just the ladies. It was any members of CCPPF that like to join us. And we had about 200 of us on this one. It was great. We were on the beautiful Carnival Vista. We had a great cruise. Plus, to just top off everything, our two favorite tour operators, Adrian Cozumel with adriancozumel.com and Javia Shaw from notakatours.com, went on their very first cruise with us, and watching them have so much fun on their first cruise and to get to be a part of the cruise instead of just being our tour operator, it was amazing. They had such a good time. I just loved being with them. It was great. But anyway, so back in the Bird's supposed to be having a slideshow going on for us with he made me pick like 10 pictures from out of a gazillion. He's like, pick 10. So we've got a little slideshow going on. There's Paul and them. They were on there with JV and them, got a good picture. But anyway, it wasn't an easy task to pick just a few photos. But we had a great time. 16 what? Photos? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I might have sent a few extra. Give me a break, okay? There were a gazillion to choose from. Good Lord. So, but anyway, so I have my review of the Carnival Vista.
Okay.
And this was my first time on the Vista. And I'm going to discuss the things that I loved and the things that I didn't. I'm going to start with the things that I didn't like. So we'll just get that out of the way. And please, I see this all the time in the group. Just because it wasn't your favorite ship or maybe it didn't live up to all your expectations, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to maybe not like something here and there on their cruise. But that doesn't mean that we're complaining. I mean, I had an amazing time. But being on 13, 14 cruises now, there were a few things about the brand new ship that I really didn't care for. So anyway, it's just my opinion, just my take on it after sailing on many different ships. So here's my review. And also, as always, even though there were a few things I didn't like, the staff was superb. And Schwartz, our CD, he's great. I mean, he's been one of the best so far. Full of energy. He was hilarious. One of the pictures on the slideshow, some of you younger people might not remember Ace Ventura movies, but he was dressed in the pink tutu and the crazy hairdo.
Yeah,
it was so funny. He did a great job. Everybody was dressed up. Halloween is one of the funnest times to go on a cruise with a group or even just self. It is. Everybody dresses up. The ship's decorated. We had an amazing time. So,
Chali, we actually have questions coming in from Facebook for you as well. Just gonna this one real quick.
Let's answer a few.
So this one comes from, oh gosh, some of these names, guys. I'm sorry if I mispronounce them. Cassia?
He's the king of name butchering.
How do we find out the special events happening on the ship? Traveling on the Vista December 2nd of 2017.
Special events as in, I need a little clarification. They have things on all of the ships, usually like Electric White Night, where if you dress all in white, you get discounts on your drinks at the disco. But as far as the itinerary goes, for the cruise, it's definitely going to be up to the cruise director and the schedule. Like for the Halloween cruise, there were some things that they had to leave out that they normally would have because of the Halloween festivities. So I've got a few connections here and there. So usually before a group cruise, I'll get in touch with whoever our cruise director is, and they usually can give me insider information on certain nights so that we will know to do appropriately because we have so many group activities. But other than that, usually it's kind of a surprise when you get on what they're going to have. If she could be more clear about what events she's talking about, maybe I could answer that question better.
For example, like the all-white night and disco nights, and probably something that I always like is the Champagne Art Gallery, giveaway. Well, not giveaway, but the auction, just because they give you the free champagne. There are a lot of different events,
Right.
and most of those can be found in the fun
About the
times.
art, just give me the booze, right, Matt?
Exactly. As Kevin Lauber says, definitely check your fun times. Also, the Carnival Hub app is amazing for finding out all these different events. I always get it every single time. And
Yes,
for
it's
an
a good
additional couple
resource.
dollars, you can be able to text people using the app who also have the app on the ship, and you do not need to buy the Wi-Fi package to be able to use the app on the ship or
Now,
to text them.
Matt, are you sure that they charge you extra for that? I think that you can chat with other people on the cruise for free. I might be wrong, but I thought through the Hub app that you could at least do like a chat. I might be wrong, but
you might be right. I
usually
remember having to buy something in it, and I can't remember what it was for.
most of us buy the social media package, and we just message each other through Facebook Messenger to coordinate things. But other than that, I don't remember it costing anything for the for Hub chat, but I could be wrong. Not sure about that.
You're probably right. I've only used
Were there any other
twice.
Twice. But yes, the events usually when you get on the ship, the cruise directors and the entertainment staff will decide before the cruise. And like I said, sometimes they usually have a normal protocol for most events. Like White Night from Galveston is almost always on the first night of the cruise. And the reason they do that is because of Texas liquor laws. You're not able to purchase the Cheers package until you are in international water. So because of that, all your drinks on the first night are not on your Cheers. You're just paying for them one drink at a time. So the ship will have the electric White Night. And if you're dressed all in white, when you go to the club, you get $1 off each drink. So it saves you a little bit of money.
Nice.
But it is up to the entertainment staff. Yeah, and it can change all the time. So
this next question comes from Melissa.
She
says, we are going on a Halloween cruise next year. What special events do they have? Also, is the ship decorated?
Well, if you're going on a Halloween cruise next year, all of the CCPPF group cruises are Halloween every year. And the one coming up is going to be our 5th annual group cruise on Halloween on the Vista. She's coming to Galveston. The ship is decorated. They have a Halloween costume contest. They have a huge party in the atrium where everybody is dressed up and showcasing their costumes. And I mean, some amazing costumes. Some people really go all out on their costumes. The staff is in costume. The ship is decorated. It's a super fun time. I couldn't recommend a better time to go. And I know it's a holiday. It's not a holiday when the kids are out of school. So the price of the cruise may be a little bit higher than normal, but not like it would be if you went on Christmas or spring break or over summer vacation. And it's a blast. We have so much fun.
So let's go over to your overall review of the ship.
Okay. All right. So like I said, we're going to start with the things that I didn't like so much about the Vista. I don't like the layout of the ship. Maybe it's just me and maybe not liking change, but several things about the layout I didn't like. For example, the casino is usually on deck 5 on the promenade, and that's where all the action is. There's live music, dancing. It's fun to watch people as they walk by to and from. Most of the popular bars are all right around the corner. On the Vista, the casino's on deck 4, and it feels so enclosed. There's no windows. It just seems like this enclosed area, and because of that, I felt like I have a lot of friends that still smoke. I'm not a smoker anymore, but a lot of my friends do. And, they always want to go have a cigarette every now and then, and I want to go hang out with them. But the cigarette smoke seemed overwhelming because of the small space that we were in with the casino. Had to have an extra few dirty martinis, so I forgot about the smoke smell. Not down in smokers. I was one for years, but when you become a non-smoker, it is hard to be around it. There was no band playing, no dancing. There's usually an area right there by the casino bar. People are dancing and listening to music. And for my smoker friends, instead of being able to sit at the casino, have a smoke, and then go around the corner to all the fun bars. They had to, go down the hall, up the elevator, go around the corner, and then, back to whatever bar we were partying at. So that's just an example. The whole ship, as big as it was, did not seem opened. It seemed very enclosed. Okay, and my next thing that I didn't care for. So although the Dreamscape, which is the digital funnel that they have in the atrium, it changes color and images. It was really, really neat. It was really a cool thing. But I didn't like the enclosed atrium either. On all of the other ships, you walk in and you can see all the way, and it just makes the ship look enormous, no matter how small the ship is. So the atrium capped off, I want to say if that was on 3, I think by deck 5, maybe 4, there's the ceiling. You look up and it's like, it just wasn't the same. For me. So it just made it seem smaller. The whole layout of the ship just made the ship to me seem small and enclosed. Also, because of the atrium.
Because of that?
No, it didn't seem crowded. I just, like in the casino, there were no windows. Like usually on the promenade, they have all these windows along the promenade, and you're sitting there, and during the day you can see outside, or just having the windows makes you feel like it's more open. And I just felt like I was in a room instead of in an open space. It wasn't that it was crowded. It was just, it seemed very
more
enclosed.
Like on land casino. I know a lot of land casinos don't have windows, and they're kind of labyrinth-like, where you almost get lost in it. It could be doing that.
Yeah, kind of like. Yeah, I didn't like the feel. I felt like it was shut in more because of no space, really.
Chali asked if there were glass elevators or not.
That's what I was just about to say. And again, one of the cool things about an atrium on the other ships, you see the glass elevators going up and down all the way to the top. And, there's always some jokester in one of them dancing or acting silly or whatever. So they didn't have those. Now, and I understand that they have to make compensations for certain things because the Vista had everything on it that any Carnival ship could offer. But I think that the things that they took away from it, I didn't like the things that they took away and made different.
So now that we covered some of the negative parts, I know there's definitely some really cool stuff that was pretty positive on the ship, especially since it's one of the newer and larger ships at Carnival.
Of course, but I had 4 things that were bad and 4 things that were good. So let me just finish with these last couple of things that I didn't care for. The other was there's no dedicated dance club. The main showroom at night, the Liquid Lounge, you have to convert it into the dance club every night. It was very crowded. It was stuffy. I didn't like that. And if it was this particular sailing, I don't know, but normally the cruise ship, I mean, you're partying until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning if you can. This place closed down at midnight. I mean, the only place to party after midnight was to go get some pizza or sit in the casino. It just seemed like it was over at midnight. There wasn't anybody. Everything closed down. And I'm not used to that because, in my opinion, you can sleep at home for free. I'm ready to party on the ship. So all of us were looking at each other like, well, where are we supposed to go now? Everything's closed. And so the last thing was, although the ship was fresh and clean and brand new, the decor, in my opinion, was very blah. I like the colorful, sparkly ships. The Liberty is still my favorite with the beautiful color-changing chandeliers, but the Vista, in my opinion, it was just okay. It wasn't anything. There was no wow factor walking in there like, oh, all the colors, some people think it's gaudy, but I think it's pretty. And this one was just kind of like, meh. So, but anyway, I don't want to gripe about the ship. We had we always have a great cruise. I don't care what ship it is, but those were the things that I felt like stood out to me that just weren't my favorite. So, but now I have some things that I did like. So
good.
Is that where we're going now, or do we have any more questions? Or
nope.
Okay.
To the positive.
So, absolutely love the Havana area. on the CCPPF 4th annual group cruise, nearly the entire group that went with us, we all had Havana cabins. So we basically took it over every day. We had the pool to ourselves. We had the bar to ourselves, the 2 hot tubs. It was so fun. No little kids. If you don't know, in the Havana area, you can't be under 12 years old and booked in a Havana cabin. So because of that, there weren't any kids doing cannonballs in the pool, getting salt water in your $9 cocktail, and waiting 30 minutes for an overworked bartender to try to bring you a drink when there's 1,000 people on the Lido deck at the pool. So
Were there any drunk adults doing cannonballs in the pool, though?
Well, I won't mention any names, Matt.
But a couple.
At least they told us before they were going to do it so we could cover up our drinks. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay. But love the Havana. The cabins are a little more expensive, but for me, it was worth it being able to have like this private area to hang out with all of our friends. It was a lot of fun. Of course, Vista being their newest ship, they had all of the eating places. The Pig and Anchor was the first time I'd had the barbecue. I'm from Texas, so of course barbecue means a lot to me, and I know my barbecue. But the barbecue place, it was pretty good. Gigi's Asian Kitchen had really good food. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I'd probably pay $15 for in the future. Gigi's is not a free venue. It's kind of like the steakhouse. You have to pay $15 to eat there per person. And the food was really good, but I did it once. I won't pay for it again. Of course, they had the Guy's Burgers. They had the Cucina del Capitano. They had the deli, the Blue Iguana burrito taco bar thing. They had the steakhouse. And if I can just gripe one more second, and this has nothing to do with the Vista. This is something that's happening fleet-wide with Carnival. They've made a lot of changes in the steakhouse, changes that, in my opinion, were not good choices. First of all, they took away decor was all the same. The food, they took away almost every reason I went there. No more crab cakes, no more lobster bisque, no more escargot. All of that was gone.
The escargot
they did have I know, I love escargot. Well, they did have something new on there that I hadn't tried before that I'm, we talked about it before. I'm a foodie too. I like to try new things. They did have the roasted bone marrow. And for someone if you've never tried it, try it. It was really good.
It kind of tastes like a thick gravy. I would probably
it's meat
like a
butter.
gritty gravy. Yeah, it's nice.
I don't think it's butter.
Like I feel like it should go on like bread or something. Just eating it by itself
definitely.
is kind of like eating gravy by itself. You don't want to just
serve it with the little crunchy toast breads, the little garlic breads, and you are supposed, I wouldn't just take a big bite of it with a spoon, but you spread it on your bread, and it was really good. Another thing, I mean, I'm sorry, but what are they thinking about this dessert thing? You have one choice, and it's this crazy Art Deco dessert platter that it takes 30 minutes to bring to your table, and then another 10 minutes just for the poor chef guy to sit there and assemble it for you. No cheesecake, none of that. And I was like, this already takes 2.5 hours to eat at the steakhouse, and then another 30 minutes just for them to present this ridiculous dessert. I was not happy, but again, that had nothing to do with the Vista.
That's the beer good at the pub, though? That's a very big question, because the pub is one of the better areas to go grab beer.
That was the next thing. And also I was going to say the Seafood Shack. Lobster roll. Yum. Try the Seafood Shack. It does cost a little bit extra, but it's really
Definitely
good.
Worth it.
And I was just, the Seafood Shack was good. I missed the fish and chips, but the Seafood Shack made up for that, even though you had to pay for it. I was going to say that the brewery inside the Red Frog Pub, that was a really great addition. They have it set up. You can see them in there brewing the beer. You can get a sampler of, it's kind of like the martini tasting at the Alchemy Bar, but they have a sampler of the different Red Frog beers that they have. one of them, I can't remember. Shannon got it on the cruise, and one of them was so bitter. I was like, ah. But
Probably an
the other,
IPA.
there's like, yeah, there was, yeah, something like that. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I
Mhm.
tasted a few of them. They had like a honey wheat or a honey ale or something, but you can get a little sampler of all the beers that they brew. And I thought that was really neat. And of course, the Alchemy and the Piano Bar were
Mhm.
great as usual. And of course, being Halloween, we went. That's something I've never got to do before was the Imax Theater that they have on the ship. We didn't go see one of the first run movies, but because it was Halloween, they had like a Fright Fest Halloween Friday the 13th, like a collage of a bunch of like all the different Friday the 13th movies. And of course, you know, when Jason stabs somebody, something stabs you in the back on your chair. And when the cockroaches are running around, it feels like they're running all over your legs. And it all made us scream and laugh and had a good time. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time in the IMAX theater. And now the first run movies cost more to see, but this little Halloween fest movie that they had, it was only $5 a person. So we all went in there as excuse me.
No worries.
I think
was
I swallowed
kinda dry of
I
it
think I
too.
swallowed some dust. I got the cruise crud.
Oh God.
I got the cruise crud on this last one. I'm just getting over it. That's why I sound a little
Mhm,
nasally.
mhm.
I haven't talked this much, you know, since the cruise. So, but anyway, that was a lot of fun. And in closing, I just want to say the only cruises that I've been on the past several years have been the CCPPF annual cruises and the CCPPF Diva cruises. And for me, it's not so much about the ship anymore or even the ports of call. For me, it's about the amazing people that I meet, the lifelong
Mhm.
cruising friends that go with us. And although there were some things about the Vista that I didn't care for, we always have the time of our lives, no matter what ship and no matter where we're going. We had a great cruise. We're already booked on the, sorry about my voice.
No
We're already
problem.
booked on the 6th annual CCPPF group cruise is Halloween again, 2016 out of Galveston on the Vista. And we're going to enjoy it no matter what and no matter what ship we're on. We could have been on an oil tanker and had as much fun as we have because we're all together. So, not dogging the Vista. We had a great cruise, but it is a new ship and a new layout. And,
Mhm.
you know, to me, there were just some things that I didn't care for, but that won't keep me from sailing on her because we're already
Exactly.
booked for next year. I'm just blessed to be able to go on a cruise, so I know that, but I can still have opinions about things that
Mhm.
I feel like maybe
Oh yeah,
they
for sure.
didn't make the best choices. So, but anyway,
Well,
we had a
thanks,
great
Chali,
time.
for joining us. We're going to go back to our Bonaire Cruisers just because their connection is more stable. So let's jump back into that interview. Welcome back.
Thank you, Matt. Sorry for it's an island. Sometimes things go wrong. Sorry.
No worries, it happens. Trust me, as long as your connection is stable and back now, that's the important thing. So let's get back to some of the questions. So we have a couple of questions coming over here. This one comes from Charisse Colley. She says, #1 spot not to miss while visiting Bonaire.
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably the underwater part. That's really nice. We're famous, like you saw in your show, that we okay. We are the cruise, the diving, you know, shore diving. We're #1 in the world, they say. So underwater is beautiful. That's the main reason why a lot of people come over to the island and to stay on the island. If you're on a cruise ship, it's probably different because a lot of people don't dive, or so you can do snorkeling. But it's a small island, so there's so much to see. My favorite spot actually is Sorbonne. You can go there with a car or with a tour bus. Like I said, you can go there with a golf cart, driving be safe with a golf cart, and the area is so nice. I mean, you can walk for about half to the water. It's really shallow. It's really it's great for children. And on your way to that area, to the Sorbonne, you pass the whole south area, and you see the Cargill American company. We have the salt mountains. We have beautiful pink water. Yeah, sometimes I send people pictures of it, and they say, "Oh, you do photoshopping." Well, I don't have a clue how you do photoshopping, but so the whole south is really nice to see.
That sounds pretty neat.
And when you on your way to the Sorbonne, after you pass the salt, you see the flamingos, and we reach for the flamingos as well. We are fortunate to have a lot of them, so it's still nice to see them. So.
One of my favorite things about going on cruises is being able to kind of explore the area and really soak in some of the culture and history. And Melissa brings up a good question. She asks, how big is the island? Sorry, Charisse, not Melissa. The next question coming up. Charisse asks, how big is the island, and is it possible to do a culture/history tour within the port, or is there time to do it?
Yes, actually, the island is 112 square miles. Yeah, it's bigger like Aruba, like I said before. There is a lot of history on the island. Yeah, in the south we have the slave huts that were built in 1850, and we had the slavery till 1863, like you guys in the States. But in port there is, for maybe 4 or 5 minute walk, we already have a Terra Mar museum, and that's a really complete museum. They show you also a little of Aruba and Curacao, but it's yeah, so it's a really good museum. We have a couple of museums. We always say that if you buy golf car, because that's our business, the golf car, yeah, if you go to the south without stopping, take about an hour and a half, and all north take about 2 hours and a half. So in 4 hours without stopping, you can see the north and the south and all the highlights that we have. If you go to the north, we have also Magazine. It's a building from 1824, and they show you all sorts of history and everything. So yeah, if you don't want to leave our capital, you can do a lot of history over there and outside as well. So yeah, no problem.
What's one of the better ways to travel around the island? I've been to a couple different ports in the past, and usually it's cabs, mopeds, renting a car, bikes even. What's the best and most affordable way to see the most of the island for also the cheapest price?
Okay, a lot of ships, most ships stay a long day. So the sooner you get off board and you get your own transportation, then you have hours and hours to do. Like, for instance, we have done the golf car rental. For the whole day, it's $90. So, and it's a two, so that's $45. And if you spend 9-10 hours on it, so you have probably a very good deal, I think. There are cars for rent, of course, but they are not. If you get off the ship, there's only one who rents them out, and the rest are near the airport. So we also have bikes, electric bikes and normal bikes. So, and we have something new nowadays. We just started with an off-road tour as well. So that's on and off-road. It's a guided rental. That's really fun. And I'm the guy who's guiding it. So it's a dream job, I tell you, Matt. It's a 6-hour tour. It's included with food. We go snorkeling. If people want to go snorkeling, some people say, well, we don't want to go snorkeling, but it's a really nice beach. And we go on road, we go on islands, we see it, and we go off road. And I tell you, to be honest, every night I pray before I know we have a tour that it's going to be raining, because that is really nice and muddy. So I always tell people, now wear something that you might get a little bit dirty. But the people drive themselves, so if they really want, they can avoid the splashes. But it's really fun. So that's something new that we have.
How many people can normally do that tour with you guys at one time?
Okay, we have the Yamaha Vikings. I don't know if I'm going to say that on your program. They're really, really good cars, and there's a 6-seater. So you can 4 or 5 people in one of those cars. And they get plenty of space. And So we have 3 of them, so we can take a group like 18 people, and then I'm in front with a quad, and my boss, he's really gnarly, he's really handy, so he keeps really good care of the motors, of the engines.
Mhm.
But like I said, they're really new, so we only had 3 tours so far.
Okay.
And if you look then at Cruise Critic or TripAdvisor, you will see we have really great comments. So it's really fun. So it's something new for the island.
I would love to do off-road tours. Those are probably one of my favorite parts of going to these different ports. Probably my favorite port of call that I've ever been to is Belize, just because I was able to go through the jungle and really experience part of the island itself and see the native area, the land, and even some of the animals that resided in there. A lot of ports, you know, they'll take you around the city, which is kind of neat, seeing some of the shops and restaurants, and I'm a big foodie as well, but really seeing the native culture of the island is super big. And I personally haven't seen a huge amount of those tours on some of the excursions I've been to, so it's really awesome to see you guys doing something like that down there.
Yeah, it's fun. We see a lot of animals, of course, because even though I keep my eyes on the road, I still look around. So it's nice to show to people, like we have the osprey, you know. We're even going to see ostriches on our tour. So we're the only one probably going to show them. But it's like I said before, it's a really nice island. That's one of the things we're famous for. I go diving, and we have about 250 different reef fish.
Oh, wow.
Now we have 200 different birds on the island. Yeah, 51 only breed here, but we have a lot of birds come over from the States because it's cold there in the winter. But like we have iguanas, we have the donkeys walking in the wild. We have the goats. You know, we have all kind of animals. We have the Aurora, and we're one of the few places in the world where they are actually the yellow-shouldered parrot. So we have a lot of different animals. Because the speed limit over here is only 25 miles an hour in town, and the golf carts go 25 miles an hour,
So
and outside is only 37 miles an hour.
I said, so it's the perfect thing to kind of rent to go around the island. Golf carts seem pretty efficient and pretty easy to go. This next question comes from Melissa Colby, and she's talking about the Aqua Spaceboat excursion and how much fun and everything else she enjoyed it. Can you kind of ask and tell us a bit more about the Aqua Spaceboats and some of the different boating excursions on the islands to go to the reefs?
Well, Aqua Space is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, Jacques Cousteau, yeah. That is really nice. We also have like a submarine nowadays. It's bright red, so you can. It doesn't go really underwater, but if you go into it, you can sit down and you can see the fish up there.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
There are some couple of places where you can go snorkeling, can go kayaking, and they have a glass roof, a glass bottom, so you can actually see the fish as well. And we have a place where you have like a little surfboard with a glass like window. So people like my mom, she doesn't like to go in the water because she doesn't trust any fish, but she can lay on top of it and she still can see the fish. So we have a lot of different things. For a small island, I'm always surprised how much different things do over here.
So let's see. Jeffery Pooler asks, what is the best beach? I know a lot of these islands have plenty of beaches all around the area, but one beach must be better or worse than another. And what's the best beach down there, and why is it a better beach than some of the others?
Okay, that's my personal opinion. We go with that off-road tour I told you about. We go to two different beaches, and they're both my favorite. That's why we go there as well. The first one is one. That's the area where you can walk about half a mile into the water, and the water only comes like to your chin. Great for children. You know, you can park your car nearby, and you can your golf cart, whatever, and you can walk over there. You can walk in, and it's a great area. There are a couple of bars over there. They speak all the languages, English and Spanish, everything. That's a great place to go. The other place is where we go also with the off-road tour is like Cocoa Beach, Eden Beach, Spice Beach. It's an area great for snorkeling, great for diving, and beaches are free. The only thing is if you rent, if you want to have like a sunbath or something, you have to pay something. But those beaches are definitely that's definitely my favorite spaces. We also have a little island, there are a couple of water taxis over there. A little island called Klein Bonaire. Klein is Dutch for small, little. Klein Bonaire. And there's nothing over there, no bars, no restaurants. So if you go there, take your water, take your sun cream, take something to wear on your head. But a really, really nice beach there as well. So it's 800 meters to go there. So say half a mile. So if you're really a sporty guy, you can swim it once a year. But normally we take a web taxi over there.
Gotcha. Well, we are going to be wrapping up this interview. Where can we find a bit more information about your port of call excursions?
Well, we have website and we have email. If you want to get in touch with us, you can get us on email or on Facebook. The email I have to think about hard. That's info@bonairecruisers.com. That's with the golf carts, and we have the info@Bonaire Cruisers offroad.com. That's for the I call them off-roads. So we have a website. That's www.bonairecruisers.com. Or there we are. And nowadays, just 2 days in the air now, it's www.bonairecruisersoffroad.com, and that's for off-road tours.
Nice.
And we are working on it, but people very often get in touch with us or with Facebook, and then we can keep people tell things, everything. And if you read on TripAdvisor, you will see a lot of very, very good reviews. So if you're not, I say talks about us, read the reviews, and we didn't hire any actors or something to write something. So it's but like I said, if you have any questions about our company, just send us an email.
And they will be on Facebook later on answering some of their questions. So thank you guys very so much for joining us. And coming up next, we look at the latest cruise news. Carnival Cruise Lines are going to be adding more ships to focus on short 4- and 5-day cruises out of Galveston and New Orleans in 2019. Galveston is my co-host Chali's home port, so expect to see her on even more cruises next year. The Carnival Dream will launch 4- and 5-day cruises to Mexico year-round from Galveston beginning in May 2019, becoming the newest and largest Carnival ship to operate a short cruise program from that port, providing an exciting and convenient new vacation option. In turn, Carnival Valor, which is currently based in Galveston, will shift to New Orleans to begin year-round 4- and 5-day cruises beginning of May of 2019. 4-day-long weekend cruises depart Thursday and visit Cozumel, while 5-day voyages depart Monday and Saturdays, calling at Cozumel and Progreso. Some 5-day itineraries from Galveston will feature both Cozumel and Costa Maya. The Carnival Horizon, which the ship we will be going on for our very first group cruise with a bunch of you, successfully completed its final sea trials in the Adriatic Sea earlier this week in anticipation of its inaugural cruise from Barcelona on April 2nd of 2018. Currently in the final stages of construction at the Finiatri shipyard in Marghera, Italy, the 3,974 passenger vessel had a full contingent of officers, technicians, and engineers who were on board, thoroughly tested the Carnival Horizon's sophisticated technical, mechanical, and navigation systems. Carnival Horizon is set to debut April 2nd of 2018 with a 13-day Mediterranean cruise from Barcelona, the first of 4 round-trip departures from that port. Carnival Horizon will be in reposition to the U.S. with a 14-day transatlantic crossing from Barcelona to New York, May 9th to the 23rd of 2018. St. Thomas, one of the ports affected by the hurricane, is back and open, and it looks amazing. It's hard to believe that this popular spot was nothing but debris and flattened trees just 2 months ago. Hurricane Irma made landfall on the island earlier September, with winds they say reached up to 225 miles per hour. Yet the beach is pristine and everyone is working and smiling and full of positive energy. The return of cruise ships to St. Thomas has been a beacon of hope for the locals. Tourism is the island's largest and most crucial economy. They need it to help them recover, with the exception of Port Area and the main tourist hubs. Much of the island is still without power, but they expect 70% of it to be back up and running by Christmas. Till then, generators provide the power for the stores and some of the lighting. So our cruise show and all of its wonderful abilities we have to bring in guests remotely wouldn't be possible at the level we do without vMix. vMix is the live production software that powers our live show and many other high-end productions, from church services to football games. More and more live productions run on vMix. What our producer Bird really liked when he was trying to improve our show was they give you a full 60-day trial of everything. That way you can test it out risk-free before you buy for 2 full months. Then they have systems starting from just $315 up to $1,500 depending on your production requirements. If you're going to do any sort of serious live streaming, you need vMix. Try it at vmix.com today. So, our Good Memories group cruise is coming up, and our first cruise is set on the Carnival horizon in 2019. This being put on by our good friends at Good Memories Travel, and we would love to get our community on there with us. It is February 23rd of 2019, and we hope to have our entire team on board and having a blast with you all as well, enjoying one of Carnival's biggest and newest cruise ships. The entry for the $500 drawing has also been extended, so you could be entered into winning that when you book. There's a webpage for the cruise, and that is CruiseWeek.tv/groupcruise. Let us know what you would like to see on the group cruise, since we have never done one before. The entry for the $500 drawing has been extended till December 31st, so go ahead, book. Join myself, Bird, Joe, and Chali with you all on the ship. For my science section, I want to talk about something that I really haven't thought about while visiting most of these ports. Energy, power, electricity, all the same, but where does it come from on the islands? Most islands aren't large enough to add in power plants or boats, and planes can't just deliver energy efficiently. So if you guys know or want to take a guess at some of the answers, put them in the comments below. I'm pretty intrigued. So in 2010, the USVI, or the United States Virgin Islands energy supply, came strictly from fossil fuels, gasoline, oil, that type of sort. And the Virgin Islands have some of the steepest energy prices under the US. The United States energy costs in January 2012 averaged $9.61 for all sectors. The U.S. Virgin Islands costed an average of 47 cents per kilowatt. That's almost 5 times the U.S. average. The normal $150 summer electric bill you'd get would be about $700 in the Virgin Islands. To combat this, the islands worked very hard to install solar panels and other renewable energies. There are prime location abundant with solar and wind resources waiting to just be harnessed. The U.S. Virgin Islands could pave the way for other island nations to develop renewable energies and stabilize their economy. The EIA website explains sources of power for the islands. Electricity in the Virgin Islands is produced almost entirely by oil-fired generators using number 6 heavy fuel oil and number 2 diesel fuel. 2 electric power plants, the Richmond plant on St. Croix and the Ralph E. Harley plant on St. Thomas supply electricity to the islands. The Harley plant generates electricity for St. Thomas, St. John, Hassel Island, and Water Island. The 3 smaller islands are supplied by electricity by underwater cables. St. John also has an emergency diesel fuel generating unit. The International Partnership for Energy Development in the Island Nations chose the Virgin Islands as a pilot project of hopes of developing renewable energies for all the island nations. EDIN aims to trim fossil fuel use down to 60% by 2025 by promoting renewable energy and efficiency. The runway of the St. Thomas Airport has a large solar panel installation that delivers 15% of the airport's electricity needs. That's about $20,000 to $15,000 saved each year on electricity costs just from having those solar panels installed. The islands have received grants and rebates and other breaks to instate energy efficient and renewable technology. the Virgin Islands Energy Office offers $1,000 off solar water heaters for residential buildings. A new code passed required all new developments, all sectors, to install water heaters to cover at least 70% of the building's water heating needs. Different groups like the VI Energize offer energy and environmental education workshops and opportunities to get involved. Energy Corps could also offer similar educational opportunities along with hands-on energy assistance in homes and other buildings in need of weatherizing or updates. The more people who have access to opportunities and help, the better the chance for change. For those that don't know or are new to our show, Lucas is a comedian on board the ships. In his downtime, he stalks the hallway below the crew areas with a plate of yesterday's rice and a camera looking for the opportunity to pay off a crew member with a bowl of rice for an interview. This week he is talking to one of our bartenders on board.
Alright, so real quick, I'm just gonna record you while you make it. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, Selena, what are you making for us today?
Regular mojito
Regular mojito?
and caipirinha.
Okay. I'm getting the coconut one, right? Coconut one, right? Alrighty. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be awesome.
Man, this is gonna be some good stuff
This
right
is
here.
gonna be some good stuff. What are you starting off with?
3 pieces of lime.
3 pieces of lime, okay.
Mojitos, yeah.
Alright, yep.
And then like 4 or 5 mint leaf.
Okay.
A little simple syrup.
Nice.
Simple syrup.
Simple
Gotcha.
syrup, you can relate
Simple
to that.
syrup. I can. I'm very simple. Oh, that looks
And
good.
then we mash it.
Okay, mash it, mash it. Nice. That looks good.
We mash the skin, the fruit, yeah? Not
Yep.
the skin. It's very
Gotcha.
important. Mash the fruit, not the skin.
Gotcha. Bobby, here comes my favorite part right here. This
Here
is
it
my
comes.
favorite part coming.
You want a coconut mojito? You use
Oh, that's it. Right there.
Right there.
coconut.
That is where all good decisions start from. Right there.
All good decisions begin right there.
Coconut wrap. 1 shot of Bacardi.
There you go.
Better decisions right
Better decisions. Shake, shake. Woo!
Splash soda water.
there. Splash of soda.
And ready.
Now that is
I
happiness
love
in a
it.
glass.
Celia, that is awesome. That is the regular mojito, correct?
Coconut.
Coconut. Nice. Is this your favorite drink to make?
Yes. This is
Nice.
our signature drink.
Nice.
In Bonaire.
So he said sex on the beach. No, not favorite activity, sir. Favorite drink.
This is the caipirinha.
All right, here we go.
A simple syrup, regular simple syrup.
Gotcha.
Because the other one was a mojito simple.
Okay.
Then we mash.
Nice.
The fruit, not the skin, huh?
Gotcha.
And we use the cachaça.
And chasa. There you go.
Ooh, it's a bigger bottle.
It's a
In it, yep.
Brazilian liquid cane sugar. Cachaça.
There's no need to measure it.
He said- We're just gonna eyeball it. Just
Shut.
2 shots.
Cachaça.
Awesome.
I haven't had that one.
Let's
Shake that.
little bit of shake, shake. No soda. Why would you dilute it? It's perfect the way it is.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much.
Alrighty. Here we go, sir.
Wait, you gotta take the.
Oh.
Here, I'll do it for you. I'll do it
All right,
for
there
you.
we go. There we go. Cheers. Here we
Cheers,
go.
my friend.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
So guys, again, that was the Crew Bar. I have personally never seen the Crew Bar before, and I'm guessing a lot of you probably haven't as well. That's why it was a pretty relaxed, local, nice music. That was a pretty interesting video. Anyway, guys, Joe will be back next week, and we will also be talking to our producer Bird about his recent trip on the Majesty of the Seas without me. Plus, we have another expert guest to teach us something new about the world of cruising. Also, guys, if you know someone who will enjoy watching the show as much as you, be nice and share the link to their Facebook wall so they can enjoy it. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just doing that alone really helps our sponsors and support us and keeps our show live each week. You'll also get entered to win in any future contests, and we're going to be doing one pretty soon in the future, so make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I want to also thank Cruise and Cat from our RSC's Periscope group for helping us out over there on Periscope chat room. If you want to see a lot of live streams from people on ships, head over to the RSC's Periscope group on Facebook for a list. Thanks everyone for coming in and joining us. Joe is back next week, so keep an eye out for our Wednesday show as well for Bird and I talking about our midweek social vibe stream, where we get to know a little bit better about you guys, and you get to know a little bit about us more in a nice informal setting. Anyways, guys, I'm out of my eggnog, and I need to get some more holiday spirit in me. So as always, we'll see you on the ships.